Alright, I'm on hole number 3 of the Tropic Kings tournament in Tuesday's qualifying round in the Rookie division, and I am playing an account that has, it's a fairly new account. It doesn't have higher developed stuff, but it shouldn't really make any difference. So on this hole, my goal is to try and get into the shadows and come in at it. In my account that has higher developed clubs, that's playing in an expert bracket of the Rookie division, getting into the shadows is pretty easy. And so normally I use a quarterback on this. And you don't have to bring a big ball. I usually will bring like a quasar. I prefer the ones that have side spin just to help me get out there on the course. So I'm gonna up the ball to a katana just because the clubs are lower developed. And kind of looking at my distance wise, I've got, if this club is maxed out, it's about 217, so you're about 14 yards short. But with a quasar, you're way, you have to pull it back. You've got plenty of club. The top spin is the deal here about trying to get it on that second bounce to go out farther is the big deal. So here I've got a little more top spin to get me farther out on that course, but look at the accuracy. So if you use this club, and look at the curl. So if you use this club, your odds of ending up in the sand out there and being able to bring it back, if you hit a grate to the left with a lower level extra mile, you're almost assured you're going to end up in the sand. I mean, it'll be close. So if you're using an extra mile and it's a lower level like this, I definitely bring a 3 side spin ball so you have more side spin. But this is a pretty good, pretty easy layup shot here. So I'm going to stick with the same clubs. I'm going to bring a quarterback and a Viper. I'm going to be a little short, but I'm bringing a ball that's got a little more distance. So my Viper versus, an upper level sniper, as far as distance goes, the distance is about the same. I've got a little less topspin, but what I'm doing on this hole is a little bit more of the backspin. Then the second shot's going to be more of a little backspin shot. But the goal here when you have a real rookie account is to get on the green. If this is get your eagle, go to the next hole. If you give yourself even a brief glance at albatross, that's a bonus. But when you first start an account, or if you're brand new to the game, the key is to play consistent. Go to the tee box, get in the fairway, get from the fairway onto the green, make your putt, go to the next hole. You're really going to want to focus on holes, the par 3s, trying to get hole-in-ones if you're trying to pick up a shot. But some of these par 4s are going to be really difficult, and some of these par 5s are going to be difficult just because you have lower developed clubs. But you can get around that by picking the right clubs and bringing the right ball to the fight. So I'm going to, just in case, I think I should be fine where I'm at with a katana. So I'm going to just stick with the katana. I'm going to do a QB and a katana. If I get out there and I don't like what I'm seeing with my QB as far as distance, then I will switch to a Titan just to give me a little more length on the second shot. Because it's not really the first shot here that you're concerned about, it's the second shot. This is a low percentage albatross hole, but it's a great hole to give yourself a look. So you want to make sure, so you can see where my red line is with a katana. I've got plenty of room. I do not want to mess with the edge over here, so I want to be at least 3 rings off from the edge. I hit a grate to the left or right, it's not going to make any difference. It's 1.9 per ring, so there's 3/8, so it's a little over 2 rings. And I'm going to put some curl on it to bring it over as much as I can towards those shadows. Isn't it perfect? I'll tell you the difference between somebody who's new and successful and somebody who's new and isn't is the wind ring method, is being able to account for the wind. Because if you can account for the wind, more often than not, you're going to end up in the fairway. And if you can play from the fairway to the green and not have to, people always ask, well, what about this rough iron? I'll tell you, the best rough iron is the one that you never have to pull out of the bag. And if you watch my videos, I don't use my rough iron and my sand iron very often because I try and hit in the fairway. And a lot of times I play, if you watch other people's videos, I play some of these holes fairly conservatively But it's all for me about angles, and it's about setting yourself up for the next shot. And part of the thing about setting yourself up for the next shot is being very consistent, and you're in the same spot over and over, so that the next time you get there, you know what to expect. You know what that shot's going to look like because you've been in that spot over and over and over again. Okay, I'm going to be playing this with my Viper. It's 1.9 per ring. I'm going to do a full wind adjustment. Okay, there's max club. I'm right at max club. I want to be a couple rings off of any surface. That way, if you do hit a grate to the left or the right, and I want to be making sure I'm going right at the hole. It's 1.9 per ring, so there's 3.8. So it's just a titch over 2 rings. I want to hit this perfect. I want to give myself a look at Albie. Oh, anticipation. But I left myself those rings down there on the bottom, and I hit that shot. 2 rings great to the left, and I had plenty of room down there. I see a lot of people shoot those shots and they butt themselves right up against a transitional line, and they hit a grate on the inside like I did, and they're in the rough. And you're in the rough out here, and you're in big trouble, especially with a lower level account. Let's talk about when you have a lower level account, like clubs that you absolutely like. When you get that club, jump up and down, go, yeah! Firefly, that's one of those clubs you want to get. You want to get that club really early. It's a level 3 club. It's a Tour 3 club. You want to get a Firefly. A Firefly is a poor man's rapier. It comes with a lot of topspin right off the bat. Don't look at any other number on that rapier other than the topspin. It gives you the opportunity to do what a lot of the advanced players do, where they use their topspin to flatten out their line to make these chip-ins. So I've got a Firefly, put on all this topspin, and then we can guide it towards the hole. The reason we're doing that is because the closer we can get the ring set to where we're actually sitting, the smaller that ring set gets, the more accurate the club is. Get it great on the right, and it went great to the right. When you're that close, wind is not going to be a factor. It's all about hitting perfect. It's all about lining that ball guide up right at the flagpole. So if you hit it great to the left or the right, you still got a shot of it popping into the hole. So as far as epics go, when you first start playing, don't worry about the epics. Everybody's concerned about an apocalypse and they want all this stuff. You can play this game and be super successful and not get any of those clubs until later on. Don't worry about it. If you're trying to go for max trophies, you're going to get those clubs. Don't worry. But what you want to get that's going to help you in these lower tours as you're learning the game is you want to get a Firefly as soon as you can possibly get one. And then the second you get a rapier, you can switch over to a rapier. The other club, the other epic that you really want to get is when you start playing Tour 7 and you get the Spitfire. Jump up and down and be totally excited that you got that Spitfire, because that Spitfire is instantly usable. Okay, so I'm going to do a 4-4, so there's 3-9. I'm going to do about a ring and a third. Hitting it perfect. Trying to get it to feed towards the hole, and it's feeding towards the left. I'm going to have to start putting curl on that. The Spitfire is, as far as epics go, everybody wants, if you're playing for max trophies and you're playing up there in Tour 12 and that's your goal, when you get up to Tour 12, you're going to have so many epics high enough level that they're usable clubs that you're going to be using all kinds of epics. But when you get a Spitfire, you will put that Spitfire in your bag and you will play with that Spitfire. It'll be hard to get you to take the Spitfire out of your bag. It's arguable, and there used to be a forum in Golf Clash, and we'd argue about which were the best clubs ever. And my argument was that the Spitfire is the best epic in the game, because the second you get it, you'll start using it, And you'll only take it out of the bag if it's on some hole in a tournament where you need some other ability, or there's some deal. You need a Houdini, something that's got a lot of backspin. And don't look at the little teeny bit of backspin that's on a Spitfire and poo-poo it off. The ball hits so high in the air with a Spitfire that when it hits the ground, that little teeny bit of backspin is a lot. That little teeny bit of backspin on a Spitfire is probably 4 backspin on any other club. Alright, that was hole number 3 of the Tropic Kings tournament and Tuesday's qualifying round in the rookie division. Thanks for watching.